Hi, I'm Ali, TME with Enterprise Networking Group. In this short video, I'll go over deploying wireless services from DNAC, basically non-fabric wireless automation in a greenfield deployment, and also later on I'm going to show you a brownfield deployment as well. Before I get into a DNAC automation piece, here's a general topology of a network which we're going to automate. We have a pair of WLCs in data center and multiple sites, for example, like Chicago, New York, San Jose. And Chicago here is a Flex Connect site, and rest are central sites. All these sites have same corporate SSID, which we're calling Typhoon, and also they are tied to different VLANs, and they have their own RF profiles. For example, Chicago SSID Typhoon has VLAN 10, and it's a flex site, and it has an own RF profile. Similarly, SDAC is tied to VLAN 200 and has its own SDAC profile. All the sites have central services like DHCP, DNS, Radius, etc., which you see here. Jumping into the DNAC, the inventory shows that we have already discovered all the devices such as WLC, APs, and switches. Let's get right to the design phase. To save time, we have already added sites, buildings, and floors. And each floor has an assigned map. So network settings allows us to assign services like Radius, NTP, DNS, etc. Under wireless, we have created corporate enterprise SSIDs, Typhoon with best practices enabled. This corporate SSID also contains wireless profiles that differentiate sites such as Flex Connect or Central. For example, under network profiles, we can see a site Chicago mapping to the SSID and specific interface VLAN for Flex Connect local switching, whereas New York is a central switching site. Taking a look at wireless interfaces, DNAC configures WLC dynamic interfaces such as Chicago with VLAN 10 here and New York with VLAN 30 and etc. In addition to default RF profiles, we can create custom RF profiles for each site as required. For example, here we have optimized data rates, transmit power, and channels needed for Chicago's site. We can also use DNAC to create guest SSIDs, associate them to a site, and create a custom portal using a identity service engine integration. So far, we have only implemented the design phase without pushing any configuration to the devices yet. We can use DNAC to provision configurations defined in the design phase, which we did earlier. For example, DNAC takes us through step by step to provision a WLC, such as assigning to a site, defining AP locations to be managed, and creating the dynamic interfaces. Finally, summary shows what configurations will be pushed to the WLC. This can be scheduled or run immediately. Similarly, you can provision APs for a particular site. For example, we chose RTP and San Jose. With each has its own custom RF profiles. So now taking a quick glance at the WLC, we can verify that configuration has been pushed from the DNAC. For example, dynamic interfaces, WLANs, and AP groups with the custom RF profiles. I have just shown a greenfield deployment where devices do not have any configuration to start with. As part of DNAC 1.2 release, for brownfield deployment, such as a WLC with existing configuration, we can also use DNAC to learn the configuration of the devices. In provision, we select the WLC and select Learn Device Config. It will ask you to choose a site, and then the configuration is shown with the existing device settings. Under Network Settings, we learn about the existing system settings, such as radius servers, DHCP server, etc. Also, under Wireless tab, we learn about the existing SSIDs and dynamic VLAN interfaces. With the learned device config, DNSC automatically creates a network profile for the Brownfield SSIDs. As part of DNSC 1.2 release, now we can import a CSV file for AP-PNP, which means for any new APs that go through the DNSC PNP process, it can download the required configuration such as device name, designated site, and RF profiles. This concludes our video. Thanks for watching.